What if I told you America once built a luxury bus so advanced, it nearly destroyed the company that created it? A machine with 2 engines, airplane-style panoramic windows, air conditioning, and even a restroom on board. It was called America's land yacht, but beneath its beautiful design was chaos. Mechanical failures, frustrated drivers, confused mechanics, and one of the largest recall programs in transportation history. This is the Greyhound Scenicruiser, the most beautiful disaster to ever travel the American highway. But why was it built this way? Why did it need 2 diesel engines working side by side? And how did it go from a national icon to a mechanical nightmare? In the early 1950s, America was changing fast. Cars were becoming affordable, air travel was taking off, and Greyhound didn't want to just be another bus company. It wanted to be an icon of the open road. They wanted something people would notice instantly. A machine that didn't just move passengers, but inspired them. That's when Greyhound turned to General Motors and world-famous industrial designer Raymond Loewy, the man behind the Coca-Cola bottle, Lucky Strike packaging, and Studebaker cars. Together, they imagined the perfect highway cruiser. 40 feet long with 2 levels of seating, massive panoramic windows, air conditioning, smooth ride quality, and even an onboard restroom. It wasn't just transportation, it was luxury on wheels. The first prototypes, called GX1 and GX2, were tested in the late 1940s and early 1950s. At first, the design was a full double-decker, but it was too tall to fit into Greyhound's garages. So they redesigned it into a deck-and-a-half layout, the front portion raised for scenic viewing, the back lower to meet garage height limits. It looked futuristic, sleek, silver, and unforgettable. But here's where things get interesting. GM didn't yet have a strong enough diesel V8 engine for such a big bus, and they refused to buy an engine from another company. So they made a risky decision. They installed 2 Detroit diesel 471 4-cylinder engines side by side, linked together by a fluid coupling, both powering one transmission. On paper, it looked brilliant. In real life, a disaster waiting to happen. Drivers had to double clutch every gear shift. The 2 engines had to stay perfectly synchronized. If one engine ran even slightly out of phase, the whole bus would shake, lose power, or damage its drivetrain. Mechanics weren't trained for this. Spare parts were rare. Some buses drove across America with only one engine actually working, and that wasn't all. The Scenicruiser used a complex central hydraulic system to power everything: brakes, steering, windshield wipers, running on 7 gallons of fluid at 1,500 psi. It made the ride smooth, but repairs nearly impossible on the road. For passengers, though, it was breathtaking. The moment you stepped inside, it felt like stepping into a rolling observation lounge. The raised front section offered panoramic glass views across the American landscape. Kids fought for the front seats just to stare through the giant windshield. The seats were covered in specially woven multicolored fabric designed to hide stains and wear. Air conditioning kept the cabin cool, while overhead vents filtered cigarette smoke long before smoking bans existed. The lower deck stored luggage, and on some long routes, there were even onboard attendants, like flight attendants, but on a bus. It was futuristic, it was luxurious, and it was falling apart. Breakdowns became common. Buses stalled in the middle of deserts, mountain passes, and downtown streets. Passengers complained, drivers complained, mechanics complained, the media noticed. Greyhound had no choice but to act. They launched a nationwide recall, one of the largest in commercial bus history. All 1,001 Scenicruisers were pulled in and completely rebuilt. The twin engines were ripped out and replaced with a single Detroit diesel 8V71 V8. The transmission was upgraded from a 3-speed with splitter to a simpler 4-speed manual. Some complicated hydraulic systems were removed or redesigned. After the rebuild, the Scenicruiser finally became what it was meant to be: reliable, powerful, and loved by passengers. Many stayed in service well into the mid-1970s. But what makes it unforgettable isn't just its engineering, it's what it symbolized. It represented a fearless America, a time when companies took risks, when innovation mattered more than playing safe. It was bold, it was flawed, it was iconic. Only a few Scenicruisers still exist today. But if you ever sat beneath those panoramic windows or heard its rumbling engine on the highway, you probably never forgot it. If this story fascinated you, wait until you hear what Ford did to beat Ferrari at Le Mans in 1966. That video is already on the channel. Go check it out next. And if you've ever seen a Scenicruiser in person or have your own story, drop it in the comments. I read every one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss more forgotten automotive legends.